Welcome to Custom Home Builder Solutions, also known as CHS, a job costing, full accounting, and profit management data software for the professional home builder. I've said that so many times I get stumbled on it. I'm continuing a series of little videos that are going through the flow of from how the people in the field can approve that or mark that work is done on certain purchase orders. And then how a builder, a bookkeeper can see any notes the field writes, and how they can either use those POs that are marked as work done to create some accounts payable bills, or if you're not using purchase orders, some other information I'm going to give you about how you can post those and write notes to the field while you're posting the bills, and prepare them and upload bills so that people in the field can pull up a list of their job cost bills and approve them for payment and drill down on various things. So in our first video, we showed a person in the field check marking that work was done on certain purchase orders. So we'll go at it from that angle as if there are some purchase orders right now. And what I'm going to do is click the Post Payables. And if you'll notice, one of the buttons that's not the Post New Payables Records that we've been going over in a lot of videos is Post Bills for Open or Approved POs. So we'll wait a moment for all the various tools and lists of open POs, etc. to all come in. And of course, if you have a lot of old POs, you probably should get them check marked as done if you're having an issue with something. So what I'm going to search for, if you look here, there's work done. And here's our couple of them in our previous video that we were check marking as work done. We can see that there's some notes there that we were talking about in the last video, but we can see that there's a pin there. So there's a little bit of notes there we can tell for something that we should be doing. So let me let this grid refresh. And now I can do a search, and I could just look for only ones where the work is marked as done. If you have a procedure in your company where that's what the bookkeeper can post bills from POs that are marked as done by the field, you could use this feature to do that. So I'm searching for ones marked as done. We only have 2 marked as done right now. So the bookkeeper could do some drilling down to look at variances, etc. But she's going to also assume, I'm going to assume as the bookkeeper, that's been reviewed by the field, and I'm going to click the button to create an AP bill. Now what will open is the very same window that we've been using to post bills, but it will be filled in with amounts from that PO, etc. You can also do this directly from Post Payables Bills and then drop down and select a PO. But that one's already selected, it's already come in. If I still, again, like in the previous video, need to just take a look at any notes there might be for me here, but we see that we've gotten the certificate. We're okay with that. We might want to review the ECC. For that, we can see that it's over by $2,000, and we can see here by looking at it, there was a budget and change orders, but that POs were $2,000 more. So we could drill down on those just to see a list of those, and we can see there's a variance PO, and it's marked as done. In other words, we did go ahead and pay for that. So we know we're going to get some alerts. The bookkeeper can also click some notes to see all the notes that have been written about things about this cost code. You can see the original budget notes here. You can see that stuff going on about the workers' comp certificate. You can see that thing about additional $2,000 for soil, and see information, notes that people have written, or any notes we've written. We either have written payment approval notes, or somebody approving these to pay have written. So that's a kind of neat thing. If the bookkeeper stays very aware that there are all these tools and how important their role is in informing a builder if something's going over, if they've gotten a bill for more or PO for more, etc. There's a lot of tools there. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this and post as unpaid. Because what I'm going to end up, and we do know that we're over already because we drilled down, so we can see that this is pausing to let us know that it's over budget. I'll just pause this to let you know that once you get that, you can click on that over budget. It says it's going to be, the amount of actual posted costs will be over budget in CO if I post this by $600. And a report's going to open to show me that. It's actually showing over budget of $2,000 here, but we have a slab contract of this much, a total budget of this much. This is how much has been paid so far, a total budget. Here's the posted costs that are over or under budget and unposted costs. We're estimating our ECC to end up at $34,976, but we haven't posted all those dollars yet. So right now, with posting this, it's just telling us we're going to, with our actual posted costs, are going to be over the original budget and the change order by 600, and gives you some detail of that. Your estimated cost of completion is showing over by 2,000. So we're going to go ahead and submit this again, let it pause, and then we'll continue. And we will post as unpaid to pay later. And we could then click to view the posted entries, and if we had some bill in hand or a PO in hand, but I think I made up some bill, and I don't think it's going to match, but I'm going to go ahead and attach this because we're going to go look at the screen for somebody in the field to approve things as unpaid. I'm just going to a very strange place I have here because I'm the developer of this software, and I kind of know I have something somewhere here. That's not what I wanted. I wanted uploads for this one. Hang on one second. I think I have something I made up for ABC Foundation. It's just one I made up. It probably didn't even match any amounts, but I'm just trying to make a point about that, and it's now been attached to this record. So if I close that, you'll see how we'll have a little paperclip icon where we scanned a copy of the invoice or something. And the reason I showed you that, I'll show you in a minute. You can see now that we have one bill left, one open PO left for $1,400, and we're going to go ahead and create that. That's the balance left on this variance PO that we gave. It's a change order PO that we gave for that, and so we're going to go ahead and create a bill for that one because it's been marked as work done. So we'll go ahead and create the bill. It's taking a while to gather all the information it needs to tell me about this person. I could check the ECC again, which would be the same because it's the same cost code we were looking at a minute ago, and I could drill down on various things. But I can also look here to see what that change order is for. The slab for the added sunroom, etc. So the bookkeeper can see a lot of things. Let me go ahead and submit this. I want to show you one more thing. It's the same information about, let's pause the submit and let's look at the over budget information now. And now we are at the 2,000 because what it's doing is looking for actual posted costs over. We were estimating we'd be over by 2,000, and now that we're about to post this other one, we are going to hit that same $2,000 that we were estimating we'd be over budget because we're now posting all the bills. So let's go ahead and submit again, and let's not pause, and let's continue. And I'm going to post as unpaid to pay later. I'm going to go ahead and open this again because besides uploading a copy of a bill like I did on the last one, I could write some notes. And I don't have anything to say about it. I'm just going to say these are notes from Carol. I don't have anything real to demonstrate, but If I needed to tell the field something about this bill that I realized while it was being posted, like that I got an overage alert, if I hadn't determined that they already knew about it because it was a variance PO for soil conditions, I could write something about it to make them aware. Right now, this is unpaid. So let's go take a look at how that shows up for somebody in the field that might be approving bills to pay. So I'm going to do approve unpaid costs. And project managers can get to this, and all they will see when they pull up costs that have been posted is job costs. They won't see overhead, bills, etc. And let's play like I'm George Brown. And let me go ahead and pause this for just a second. Okay, you can see that while I paused it, I went and logged in as George Brown, who would not be able to get to the big unpaid payables that show all overhead bills because I don't have the level of permission from that. But I can, being a person from in the field, I can look for bills that have been posted for jobs, for a job that I'm interested in, or for all the bills, all the job cost bills. Let's just say I'm working on this one job, and I want to open maybe once a week or so. I'm supposed to come open this, and I'm supposed to mark whether they are okay to pay or not. That's different than marking them as work done on POs. If you're not using purchase orders at all, you could still use this window to pull up all unpaid job costs for that job that I requested. See how it says that up here? It also, you can see that the job is all that job I requested. But let's just take a moment and talk about that ABC Foundation. Remember, we just posted the bill for $15,576, and we uploaded a copy of the bill. So there's a little paperclip icon, so the person in the field could click that, either email it to themselves for whatever reason, or click to open and take a look at this made-up bill I have that I don't think has a whole lot to do with what we actually ended up doing in this demo. It's hard to do demos because it's not real world, so I just make up stuff. But so I'm going to close that because I could show you how they could see the pin icon. Then if I had written any notes as the bookkeeper like I did for this other one that was for the change order amount, you'll see that there's a little pinned note here. So somebody approving bills should pay attention to that and can pull up the pinned note and even add to it something that they want to say back to the bookkeeper for when the bookkeeper is going to actually be selecting these to pay. They could create a brand new note. If I created a brand new note and there's something I wanted to say about this, I could click the T icon and I could say George says something, which might be don't pay all of this, hold this, do something. And I'll show you a little bit later how that's also going to show up. You can see there's a pinned note on that. You can see there's a pinned note from out in the field that these have been check marked as work done. Whether you do this or not is just up to your own internal procedures as to what you want to do and how much you have different people do. But I think maybe you can get an idea if I drill down on of how much can be reviewed before they check mark OK to pay over here. And this is just OK, saying it's OK. This is not selecting them to pay. This is just the field. Instead of that stack of invoices that you might route around, the field, instead of dealing with that paper, instead of you letting go of a bunch of bills to go out into the field and wait for those to come back, you could see how the person in the field could bring up a list of all the bills that you have posted. And so you should go ahead and just get the bills in, get them posted so they can be here, because somebody in the field could write a note, do not pay this, delete it, or anything they want to you that you'll see when you're selecting bills to pay. They also could notice you've done maybe a wrong cost code, and notice how if I hover over, you can see the total name of the cost code. We have a lack of space with all this information. but they could click a pencil edit icon here. And if there wasn't a PO attached, PO is going to limit them a little bit from changing the cost code. But there is also a video here about how to get that cost code changed when there is a PO attached, and various things to do to that for that reason. This particular bill has some other things locked, mostly because it is a PO. There is a PO attached. So they can do, if there's not a PO attached, they can drop down to change the cost code. They could remove the PO if that is appropriate. Other people, there's lots of fields disabled because I don't have accounting permission. I can't change things or cost types or departments because that would affect accounting. But I could, if there wasn't a PO attached, I could probably change the cost code and do a little bit of stuff or write a note saying get this cost code changed, that kind of thing. So that's a little bit of edit that the person in the field can do to a bill, not a whole lot, because we don't want people in the field affecting our accounting bills that we've posted. You can drill down here. You can see all POs issued for this vendor. For this job and how much over or under you are for that. You can drill down to a great big notes thing that shows all notes that have been written about this cost code and this job. Well, not all notes, various notes. You can see budget notes. You can see the stuff going on about the insurance. You can see where I typed George says something. These are notes from OK. You can see those notes I was typing. So it's kind of a screen to bring together, basically, in a way, all the various notes, information that you might want to review from the field. So you can see how many tools there are for you, and if you did do this and you did the ECC, you could see over by 2,000, and by looking at the actual cost posted, you could actually see extra for soil conditions that you as the project manager do know about. So you're okay. You check OK1. You check this for the change order. You've reviewed everything. You're checking it as OK. This OK2 column is in general usually for the big boss to use. So the big boss can see that this has been okayed by the field. Then the big boss could also do some check marking to approve these things, but we're going to have the big boss do it from the screen that has all unpaid payables bills on it, including overhead ones. But they'll have all these same tools to be reviewing the bill and looking at things about the bill before they okay it to pay. Other tools on here are if there is a PO and it says yes, you can drill down. You can then open the whole PO and take a look at it. If there's some information that's going to help you with approving this, you might have had a copy, you might have uploaded a copy of the bid from the vendor that might be here so that you could click to view. You see all your ECC information, and you can drill down on some of it too. This is still showing that 2,000 over, but that's just information that's there when you're creating a PO. So that's what that's about. Your grid will refresh, well, not refresh. It's telling you that you might want to refresh it right here if you made any changes to that purchase order. And then so you'll see the invoice date, the due date, what the builder is, that kind of thing. You can also, there's not any search here because this is just for unpaid bills, but you could search for certain vendors that you might be interested in. I might have some just D vendors. I might be wanting to go look at, I don't know who else. Is there some for United Plumbing? United Plumbing, so once you open this, you can at least use those little alphabet buttons to get to some vendor you want to look at real quickly to see what the condition is of those things. You can see there's pinned notes here for United Plumbing. The cost of framing should be back charged for this. You might notice Since we noticed that note about how Acosta should be back charged for it, we might want to go ahead and drill down on the ECC to see if we can tell if they have been. And this is a variance cost approval report that's going to show us everything for all groups, for the group that plumbing is related to. And if you kind of start scrolling down here and you get down to this one, which is actually the cost code 3680, which is what this one was posted to, you'll see how United Plumbing is here for that 385 plus the 31, the 416 amount, which is actually these two amounts over here, sales tax and the original. And you can see how there's an entry here for a cost of framing for minus 416.76, and you can see that's marked as paid, which means it was taken, it was included in a check number 3031 as a minus amount. There's probably other things on that check for cost of framing that this was taken away from. But anyway, you can see back charge from United Plumbing, so you can just reassure yourself that yes, that happened. That's just me showing you how much you can see on here and drill down to things that are related to the unpaid job costs that are here. In our very next video, we will go back to being the bookkeeper, and we will open the big unpaid list of all bills that are posted as unpaid, including overhead bills, and also act like we're the big boss and see about doing the OK2 field for some of that, and let you look at how the bookkeeper that's selecting bills, posted unpaid bills now to pay in a check run, can also see all of this. And thank you for watching.